Alfred Hawthorne Hill?
And I called myself Benny because I admired Jack Benny so much.
Oh, I see.
Who doesn't remember The Benny Hill Show? This iconic comedy series, celebrated for its high-energy slapstick humor, became a cultural touchstone of the 1960s. With Benny Hill's boundless enthusiasm at its heart, the show quickly amassed a devoted following, delighting audiences around the globe and leaving everyone eager for the next episode. Yet, as societal norms shifted, the show faced backlash for its controversial portrayal of women. What were the specific scenes that sparked this criticism? In this video, we'll dive into the details behind the scenes that ultimately led to The Benny Hill Show being taken off the air. But before we uncover these pivotal moments, let's take a journey back to the origins of Benny Hill and the early days of his groundbreaking show. Early years. Alfred Hawthorne Hill, better known to the world as Benny Hill, was born on January 21, 1924, in Southampton, Hampshire. However, there's some debate, with a few sources claiming his birth year as 1925. Benny came from a family with an entertaining streak. His father, Alfred Hill, ran a surgical appliance shop, but both his father and grandfather had a history as circus clowns. His mother, Helen Nay Cave, added her own flavor to the family's dynamic. After his time at Taunton School in Southampton, Benny tried his hand at various jobs. He worked at Woolworths, delivered milk, operated bridges, drove vehicles, and even drummed, all before landing a gig as an assistant stage manager with a touring revue. In 1942, when the war called, Benny answered, joining the British Army. He trained as a mechanic with the Royal Electrical and Mechanical Engineers and was eventually stationed in Normandy as a mechanic, truck driver, and searchlight operator from September 1944. Later, he shifted to the Combined Services Entertainment Division before the war concluded. Hill's passion for comedy was sparked by the star comedians of British music halls, prompting him to chase a career in showbiz. He took on the name Benny as a tribute to his comedic idol, Jack Benny. Post-World War II, Benny Hill started making waves in radio, with his first appearance on Variety Bandbox on October 5, 1947. Television soon followed, and in 1950, Benny made his small-screen debut. He went on to star in an anthology sitcom titled Benny Hill, airing from 1962 to 1963, where he showcased his versatility by playing different characters in each episode. His talent didn't stop there. In 1964, he portrayed Nick Bottom in a TV film adaptation of Shakespeare's A Midsummer Night's Dream. Benny also helmed a radio show, Benny Hill Time, which aired on BBC Radio's Light program for 3 series from 1964 to 1966. The show was a mix of humor and satire, including episodes like From Moscow with Love, a spoof on James Bond, and his unique spin on the Beatles. Hill slipped into various roles on the show, such as Harry Hill and Fred Scuttle. But how did Benny transition to the iconic Benny Hill Show, and what led to its final curtain call? Stay tuned to uncover the full story. Career exploits. Benny Hill had a notable film career, appearing in 5 feature films: Who Done It?, Light Up the Sky, Those Magnificent Men in Their Flying Machines, Chitty Chitty Bang Bang, and The Italian Job. He also made 2 short films, The Waiters and Eddie and August Dewar, the latter being for TV. In 1974, The Best of Benny Hill, a compilation film featuring his early Thames television work, was released in theaters. Hill's audio recordings were also popular, with songs like Gather in the Mushrooms, Pepys's Diary, and Transistor Radio all from 1961, and Harvest of Love from 1963. His biggest hit, Ernie, the fastest milkman in the West, became the UK Christmas #1 in 1971, earning him an Ivor Novello Award in 1972. Benny Hill had a wide fan base, including celebrities like Johnny Carson, who often invited him to The Tonight Show, and Adam Carolla, who admired Hill's work and paid tribute to him on The Man Show. Michael Jackson was another admirer, once telling a British critic, "I just love your Benny Hill. He's so funny." In 1987, Hill appeared as Fred Scuttle in Genesis's music video for Anything She Does, playing a bumbling security guard. Even rapper Snoop Dogg declared himself a fan in a 2011 interview with The Observer. Hill's comedic talent was widely celebrated, with stars like Burt Reynolds, Michael Caine, and Walter Cronkite expressing their admiration in the omnibus episode Benny Hill, Clown Imperial. Novelist Anthony Burgess, a fan of Hill's wordplay and humor, praised him in a 1990 review of Hill's biography Saucy Boy, calling him a comic genius steeped in the British music hall tradition, and placing him alongside greats like Charlie Chaplin and Stan Laurel. The Benny Hill Show. In the early 1970s, The Benny Hill Show became one of the most watched programs in the UK, captivating millions around the world. Known for its iconic sketches and memorable characters, the show skillfully blended physical comedy with sharp humor, securing its place in television history. The series, driven by its star Benny Hill, first aired on the BBC in 1955, offering audiences a mix of short sketches and musical numbers. After remaining on the BBC until 1968, the show found a new home at Thames Television in 1969. The Benny Hill Show was famous for its slapstick, mime, parody, and double entendres, which made it immensely popular. At its height, over 21 million viewers tuned in during 1971, making it one of the UK's top programs. In 1972, Benny Hill was honored with a BAFTA Television Award for Best Writer and received a nomination for Best Entertainment Performance. The show's success crossed the Atlantic, gaining a substantial following in the United States during the late 1970s and continuing in syndication until 1991. It earned Emmy nominations for Outstanding Variety in 1980 and 1981, and in 1984, Hill was awarded the prestigious Rose d'Or. However, in 1989, Thames Television canceled the show due to declining ratings and soaring production costs, which had reached $450,000 per episode, equivalent to about $1.4 million in 2023. Despite its cancellation, the show's impact remained strong. In a 2015 UK poll, its theme song was voted #1 on the ITV special, The Sound of ITV, the nation's favorite theme tune. Benny Hill's innovative and sometimes controversial comedic style left a lasting imprint on television comedy, ensuring that The Benny Hill Show remains a beloved and iconic series in entertainment history. The Benny Hill Show captivated audiences with its unique structure and entertaining plot lines. The show featured Benny Hill in a series of short comedy sketches, often accompanied with extravagant musical performances by contemporary artists. Hill's versatility shone as he donned a variety of costumes to portray an array of characters. Despite criticism for alleged sexism and objectification of women, Hill defended his work, arguing that the female characters maintained their dignity, while the men who chased after them were portrayed as fools. The show's distinctive style included fast-motion scenes and visual gags that Hill described as live animation. Comedy techniques like mime and parody were staples, and episodes often concluded with a fast-paced chase scene featuring Hill being pursued, usually by scantily clad women, due to predicaments of his own making. These chases were always accompanied by the lively tune Yakety Sax, adding to the comedic effect in a nod to the classic Keystone Cops chase scenes. Hill also showcased his musical talent, composing and performing pattern songs, often delivering long, fast-paced double entendre rhymes and songs in a single take. His unique comedic style made The Benny Hill Show a cornerstone of British television, leaving a lasting legacy in the comedy world. Hill was a master of using television cameras to create comedic illusions. A prime example is his 1976 parody of Murder on the Orient Express, titled Murder on the Oregon Express, where he used clever editing, camera angles, and spot-on impersonations to craft a TV mystery. Hill took on the roles of 1970s American detectives like Ironside, McCloud, Kojak, and Cannon, as well as the famous Hercule Poirot. Throughout his TV career, Hill was known for his spot-on impersonations and parodies of numerous American celebrities, including W.C. Fields, Orson Welles, Kenny Rogers, Marlon Brando, and Raymond Burr. He also spoofed fictional characters from popular TV shows, such as the $6 Million Man, Starsky and Hutch, and the A-Team, which he hilariously reimagined as the B-Team, with Hill playing both Hannibal and B.A. He even took on characters from Cagney and Lacey, showcasing his wide-ranging comedic abilities. The Benny Hill Show's extremes. Benny Hill didn't limit his parodies to American celebrities. He also impersonated a variety of international stars and British icons. He took on roles like Greek singer Nana Mouskouri and South African artist Miriam Makeba, as well as British celebrities such as Shirley Bassey, Michael Caine, and newscasters Reginald Bosanquet, Alan Wicker, and Cliff Michaelmore. He even mimicked pop music hosts like Jimmy Savile and Tony Blackburn, along with musician Roger Whittaker, his former record producer Tony Hatch, political figures like Lord Boothby and Dennis Healy, and Irish comedian Dave Allen. Hill occasionally impersonated his former straight man, Nicholas Parsons, and in a spoof of Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf, he humorously portrayed both Richard Burton and Elizabeth Taylor. The show's signature theme, Yakety Sax, written by James Q. Spider Rich and Boots Randolph, became iconic in its own right. The musical direction was led by pianist and conductor Ronnie Aldrich, with vocal backing from session singers, the Ladybirds, who frequently appeared on camera from 1969 to 1974. The saxophone solo on Aldrich's version of Yakety Sax was performed by Peter Hughes, with Albert Elms filling in as musical director for a few episodes during the 1973-1974 season. Yakety Sax first made its appearance in the November 1969 episode, which also marked the show's debut on Thames Television. Another trademark of the show was the enthusiastic announcer's introduction, "Yes, it's the Benny Hill Show." This was often delivered by cast member Henry McGee. Starting in 1975, Hill was introduced at the beginning of each show as the lad himself. The episodes usually closed with Hill's familiar farewell. "Thank you for being with us, and we look forward to seeing you all again very, very soon. Until then, bye-bye." The main supporting cast included Henry McGee, John Keefe, Ken Said, Nicholas Parsons, Bob Todd, and Jackie Wright. The show was also known for its regular sex pot women, including Jenny Lee Wright, Sue Bond, Bettina LeBeau, Leslie Goldie, Cherry Gillum, and Diana Darvey. Later years saw the introduction of the dance troupe Hill's Angels, preceded briefly by the Love Machine. Regular members of Hill's Angels included Sue Upton and Louise English, with Jane Leeves making a few appearances in the early 1980s. Other notable one-time appearances included Susan Clark and Sue McIntosh. The Ladybirds, a female singing group with Maggie Streeter as the bespectacled member, were regulars on the show, providing background vocals for Hill and occasionally performing solo numbers. Character actresses like Anna Dawson, Bella Emberg, Rita Webb, Helen Horton, and Patricia Hayes also made their mark on the show. With a career as remarkable as Benny Hill's, something special was surely driving his success. What could it be? Keep watching to find out. Benny Hill's mysterious private life. Despite his widespread fame, Benny Hill never married or had children, and the reasons behind this choice remain a mystery. Two women have openly admitted to turning down his romantic advances, including actress Annette Andre in the early 1960s, though the details were kept private. In an interview with Jane Dexter for the Daily Mirror, Hill discussed his struggles with finding a girlfriend. He compared his situation to working in a chocolate factory, where the overwhelming number of choices made it hard to settle on just one. Hill mentioned that he preferred a woman with common sense, ideally someone with a straightforward job like an office worker, factory employee, or shop assistant. The closest he ever came to marriage was with a dancer named Doris Deal, but their relationship ended when she revealed she wasn't ready for such a commitment. Despite these romantic setbacks, Hill faced rumors questioning his sexuality, which he firmly denied. Throughout these personal challenges, he remained fiercely dedicated to his work, often spending long hours refining comedic scripts and sketches. His perfectionism drove him to always aim for excellence, and despite his considerable wealth, Hill lived a surprisingly modest lifestyle. For 26 years, he rented a double-room apartment on London's Queen's Gate, later moving to Fairways House in Teddington in 1986. His decision to continue renting rather than buying a home reflected his preference for a simple, unassuming life. Benny Hill's upbringing, shaped by his parents' modest lifestyle, greatly influenced his choices later in life. He avoided luxury, choosing to rent instead of buy, opting for inexpensive supermarket food, and preferring to walk instead of taking taxis. Despite holding a driver's license, he never owned a car, embracing a minimalist way of living. This simplicity extended to his wardrobe as well. He was known for patching up his clothes rather than replacing them. Hill's brilliance as a comedian and his meticulous attention to detail were key factors in the immense success of The Benny Hill Show. Although often seen as an introvert by friends and colleagues, Hill thrived in the spotlight, where he combined his humor with a deep passion for music. A skilled saxophone player, he frequently wove his musical talents into his comedy, crafting parodies of popular songs that added another layer to his already rich comedic persona. But was there more to Benny Hill than just his comedy and modest lifestyle? Keep watching to uncover the full story. The ugly side of Benny Hill. Despite his fame, Benny Hill was often shrouded in mystery, particularly when it came to his personal life. While he was certainly not homosexual, he was well known for his comedic portrayals in drag, impersonating figures like Fanny Cradock, Moira Anderson, and even all three of the Beverly Sisters. Yet, beneath the humor lay a darker, more complex side to Hill. One of his more troubling traits was his phobia of women. Despite his immense comedic talent, Hill was painfully shy and awkward around women, which made personal relationships difficult for him. He recounted 2 childhood incidents that he believed led to his lifelong bachelorhood. One where a girl on the beach refused to share her shells with him, and another where a girl at a fair wouldn't share his candy floss. These experiences were so traumatic for him that he cited them as reasons for his solitude. He even admitted to following these girls home, but insisted that he never spoke to them, raising questions about whether his behavior was chivalrous or unsettling. Hill's difficulty in forming romantic relationships extended into adulthood. Although he passed the 11+ exam at age 10, he had little interest in school and soon left to work as a clerk. He also took up various jobs, including unloading lorries for Woolworths, where he secretly admired a girl named Jean at the perfume counter. Hill's experiences at work and in life led to the creation of his famous persona, Ernie, the fastest milkman in the West, based on his time as a delivery man for Dorset Dairies. The song he later wrote about these exploits won an Ivor Novello Award in 1972. Despite his professional success, Hill's personal life was marked by loneliness. He often sought comfort in the nurturing attitudes of married women, who treated him with a maternal kindness that he found comforting. Unlike other celebrities known for their romantic escapades, Hill remained a solitary figure, seemingly content with his bachelorhood. Hill's path to stardom wasn't easy. He began his career by performing in local amateur shows and variety concerts, telling jokes for a modest fee of 5 shillings a night. His parents were unsupportive of his showbiz aspirations, urging him to find a real job with a pension. Despite their advice, Hill pursued his passion, enduring hardships like sleeping in rat-infested air raid shelters and taking on various low-paying jobs to make ends meet. After being conscripted into the army in 1942, Hill served until 1947, a period he despised. Upon his return, he used his demobilization gratuity to fund his dream of becoming a comedian. Hill's early career was fraught with challenges, including poorly received performances and hecklers who mocked his acts. Yet he persevered, finding solace in the world of comedy and eventually breaking through as a beloved entertainer. His last serious relationship was with Doris Deal, a chorus girl at the Windmill Theatre in Soho in 1954. The relationship ended when she gave him an ultimatum to marry her, which he didn't accept. Reflecting on his romantic life in 1969, Hill remarked, "Being truly in love can be miserable. It's like a physical pain in the chest, almost suffocating, This sentiment perhaps encapsulates the complex, often contradictory nature of a man who brought joy to millions but struggled to find it in his own life. Health challenges in passing. Benny Hill faced significant health challenges in the late 1980s, including heart problems that impacted his ability to perform. In February 1992, he suffered a mild heart attack, and although doctors recommended a heart bypass, he declined the procedure. Despite his deteriorating health, Hill made occasional TV appearances, showcasing his commitment to his work. Tragically, he passed away at age 68 on April 20, 1992, in his flat in Teddington. His body was discovered several days later, and his death was attributed to coronary thrombosis. Hill was buried in Hollybrook Cemetery in Southampton 8 days later. Rumors circulated that he was buried with gold and jewelry, prompting grave robbers to break into his coffin. But no such items were found. Despite his untimely death, Benny Hill's comedy continues to entertain audiences worldwide, transcending cultural barriers and leaving a lasting impact on the entertainment industry. His legacy as a talented musician and versatile entertainer endures, marking him as a significant figure in television history. So, what led to The Benny Hill Show being taken off the air for good? Stay tuned as we delve into the details. The Benny Hill Show enjoyed immense popularity and was broadcast globally in over 100 countries, including the United States. Known for its saucy songs, monologues, sketches, parodies, and iconic chase scenes, the show captivated audiences for over 2 decades. However, the show faced significant criticism, particularly regarding its portrayal of women. Critics accused Hill of sexism and objectification, arguing that his sketches reduced women to mere objects of desire or slapstick humor, clashing with evolving societal norms. Hill defended his work, claiming that he aimed to maintain the dignity of female characters while portraying the pursuing men as foolish. Nonetheless, shifting cultural expectations and ongoing criticism impacted the show's reputation. Advertisers withdrew support, leading to financial difficulties. With rising production costs and declining viewership, Thames Television decided to cancel the show in 1989. Another factor in the show's cancellation was Hill's decision to retain tight control over its creative direction, which may have contributed to its eventual end. Despite its previous success, the show's inability to adapt to changing television landscapes and ongoing controversies led to its regrettable cancellation. Benny Hill's legacy. Fans of The Benny Hill Show cherish its distinctive comedic style and Hill's charismatic presence. Surprisingly, the show's origins were quite different from its comedic reputation. Initially conceived as a serious series with a dramatic storyline, Benny Hill quickly recognized his comedic talent during a brief trial of the serious format. His intuitive decision to shift The Benny Hill Show to pure comedy led to its remarkable success. One of Hill's most beloved characters was Fred Scuttle, a cheerful and hapless figure perpetually caught in ridiculous situations. The character's name, a whimsical tribute to Hill's dentist, added a unique charm to the show. Beyond acting, Hill was deeply involved in all aspects of production, including writing sketches, composing music, directing, and editing, demonstrating his commitment to creating an entertaining program. The Benny Hill Show originally aired in black and white, but transitioned to color in 1969, with its move from BBC to ITV's Thames Television. The first color episode, Super Teach, aired on November 19, 1966, adding a new visual dimension to Hill's humor. Although television was his primary medium, Hill also made significant contributions to music and film. His final TV special, Benny Hill World Tour, New York, aired in 1991 and featured Hill's signature humor and interactions with unsuspecting New Yorkers. This special marked his last American appearance before his passing and highlighted his global reach and popularity. After his death, The Benny Hill Show continued to thrive on various channels, including Channel 4 and That's TV, reintroducing his comedic brilliance to new and nostalgic audiences. In 1998, Channel 4 honored Hill in its Heroes comedy series, acknowledging his impact on British comedy. Further recognition came in 2002 when he was named the third greatest British comedian of the 20th century by DJ Taylor. A 2006 Channel 4 documentary, Is Benny Hill Still Funny?, compared his comedy to modern shows like Little Britain, showing his ability to transcend generational gaps. In 2021, That's TV aired The Benny Hill Show during its Christmas schedule, marking a return to national television after nearly 2 decades. With over 40 hours of content, That's TV aims to introduce Hill's classic comedy to a broader audience, ensuring his legacy remains vibrant and accessible. Overall, The Benny Hill Show continues to captivate with its blend of slapstick, satire, and musical humor. Benny Hill's lasting impact on comedy ensures his place as a beloved figure in television history. What do you think about these details? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring the notification bell for more stories like this.